Hello and welcome to Doing More. I'm Erica Cardenas. As we welcome and look forward to the season of fall and new things to come, we're also in the season of celebrating our brave fellow men and women who have served and are serving our great nation during National Veterans Month. Each November, Americans across the nation take pride in honor and observance of our current and past military servicemen and women. During National Veterans and Military Families Month, we also celebrate the loved ones of our country's men and women in uniform and recognize the sacrifices they make in support of our nation's heroes. Just like Figher Country Foundation, an organization whose mission is to support Luke Air Force Base men, women, and their families through morale and well-being services. Take a look.
The purpose of Figher Country Foundation is to plainly support the men, women, families, and mission of Luke Air Force Base. And we do it through programs and services designed around resiliency, morale and well-being, culture and tradition, and just really do everything we can to enhance quality of life for the military members out of Luke Air Force Base. The organization started really as concerned citizens just to make sure the mission of Luke continued to exist because we love Luke Air Force Base out here in the West Valley and in the state. So the citizens, just wanted to make sure they could do everything they can to keep Luke around and have that sound of freedom flying over us all the time. Luke Air Force Base has been around since 1941. Its mission has always been to train the world's greatest fighter pilots. And right now they train F-16 pilots and F-35 pilots. And there's a significant amount of aircraft out here. 107 F-35s, 77 F-16s, and the base has been around since 1941. So a lot of history here. Three key areas in the way we support the families in Luke Air Force Base is morale and well-being, culture and tradition, and mission sustainability. The core of our business is really that morale and well-being piece. All those resiliency programs that we do alongside with the leadership at Luke Air Force Base, the marriage retreats, the finance expos, the wellness expos, the deployed family functions, those things that really enhance the quality of life for those military members and those families. And then there's that culture and tradition piece that as civilians, we're not engaged with the military. And when you get involved and you really understand about the culture and tradition of the military, it means so much for us to be able to support that. These squadrons have heritage all the way back to World War II. And so when you're walking around and you'll hear military members say how they're standing on the shoulders of giants because they recognize that history and that tradition and that culture and those airmen that served way back in the day and did amazing things for this country. Figher Country Foundation is incredibly unique. Everybody supports their military installations across the country. But to really get involved with Luke Air Force Base the way that Figher Country Foundation has, that's what truly makes us unique, that we can sit side by side with leadership, discuss the challenges that exist inside the fence, and how can we work together to bring programs and services to support. There is not another organization like ours in the country that's doing what we do at the capacity that we do it. So we are just so humbled, so fortunate, and so honored. And it's just, to come to work every day and do what we do is priceless.
As Figher Country Foundation supports our active military men and women, let's also commit and support by purchasing the Sound of Freedom F-35 Arizona ADOT license plate. All proceeds will fund the Figher Country Foundation's mission and services. For more information, head over to fighercountry.org/plate. I'll be right back with Doing More after this. Welcome back to Doing More. We're here at Figher Country Foundation at Luke Air Force Base celebrating our brave military men and women during National Veterans and Military Families Month. Did you know former President Donald Trump issued a proclamation declaring all of November as a month to honor American veterans and military families in efforts to extend traditional Veterans Day celebrations, proclaiming National Veterans and Military Families Month? Now let's take a look how Cox Communications honors military men and women through the Cox Charities initiative.
My name is Sierra Orell, and I'm a therapist at Trot. Heroes on Horses was started in 2006. It's our way to give back to veterans in the community. Horses help the therapeutic process with veterans by being in the present moment, partnering with the horses, and also being out in nature to gain perspective. Horses allow us to come into their time rather than our busy human time, and they live in the present moment and also are 100% supportive of humans. It is important for us to be receiving grants and donations to be able to sustain the program and to continue offering services. Support can be offered through donations or more information at our website, www.trotarizona.org, or you can call us at 520-749-2360 and even schedule a tour.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Helms, and I'm the Executive Director of Klein Veterans Fund. Klein Veterans Fund provides emergency housing assistance for homeless and at-risk veterans in Clark County. The veteran housing situation in Las Vegas is very serious because we have about 200,000 veterans in Clark County, and 10% of our homeless population is represented by veterans. Well, funding like this grant from Cox Communications is so important to our program because it gives us the flexibility to help more veterans in need, and 100% of the money stays here in Clark County. So the Cox program is employee funded and selected. That means it's our neighbors helping our neighbors right here in our own community. Folks can learn more about our program and how to support it by visiting kleinveteransfund.org.
My name is Michelle DeMuro, and I am the Executive Director of Veterans Heritage Project, a nonprofit here in Arizona. The Veterans Heritage Project after-school program works with teachers who volunteer to lead a chapter in their school, where students get to sit with a veteran and interview them and capture their service story. They write up their story for publication in our book entitled Since You Asked, and then they plan a free community event to present the book to the veteran and honor and thank them for their service. So if you're a middle, high school, or college student and would like to interview a veteran and participate in our program, but there isn't a chapter at your school, we have an independent contributor online course that you can take, and you can find that at veteransheritage.pathright.com. The video recordings of the veteran interviews are archived in the Veterans History Project at the Library of Congress, and the book Since You Asked is also donated. To learn more about our mission and to support us, please visit veteransheritage.org and check out the Ways to Give page. We'd appreciate anything you can do to help.
We traveled to Rhode Island to visit CASA Rhode Island, a volunteer-based organization that advocates for children who've been abused and neglected. Take a look.
If I didn't have my CASA volunteer, I don't know where I would be, because at such a dark moment when I was in group homes and having no one to advocate for you at such a young age, she was that advocator for me.
Children should not be in court. Court is for adults. But through the CASA volunteer, I can hear the child's voice, how they feel about the situation, that isn't encumbered by all those legal considerations that everyone else very properly has to prioritize in what they're telling me.
It is truly a privilege and an honor to be the voice of a child in court.
I promise these kids that I will always take their phone call. And if I don't and they leave me a message, I'll call them back. I find by doing that, they will reach out to me.
I mean, I have sometimes a dozen adults telling me about this family, and they're all doing their jobs, and they're responsible and they're sincere, but they have to focus on so many other aspects of the case. As much as we all try to think that we're all focused on the child's needs, what is vital about the role of the CASA volunteer is that they are truly only focused on the child.
What I've learned is having at least one adult in their life that is there for them to count on really helps develop that sense of well-being.
I don't know where I would have been, probably still stuck in such a dark place, but having her most definitely changed my perspective on life.
What matters to children is how they feel. And sometimes I'll learn from a CASA volunteer something that would never make it into the 5 reports I'm reading that day.
I had this young kid text me the other morning and asked me how I was doing. So I called him up and I said, what's up? Why are you worried about me? He goes, well, no, I just want to ask how you're doing because you're always asking how I'm doing. That's rewarding. That's, to me, it's like, all right, this kid knows he has somebody he can count on that he can give a call to if he has an issue.
The only way I'm going to hear that is by somebody who's connected with a child and is speaking their words to me, not what they should feel or what the law's looking for or what their parents' rights entail. Just the kid. And that's something so fundamental to what we should all be thinking about.
I have personally seen the work of what CASA does and the rewards that the children are now just doing so well. They're happy and they have a sense of well-being, and that's because of us.
I have seen that insight and that input from a CASA volunteer lead to that moment of grace for the rest of us to hear what we should really be focused on if the case needs to go in a different direction.
My CASA volunteer pushed me to my full potential and made me believe that I had everything I was capable of. She led me on to be who I am today. So that's a big change she installed in me. So I would say thank you.
The CASA-appointed volunteers are considered the eyes and ears of the court and the voice of the child. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Doing More. We shine a light on the good things happening in our communities. We're honoring our brave military men and women during National Veterans and Military Families Month here at Figher Country Foundation at Luke Air Force Base. Another major contributor to Figher Country Foundation's program is the Blue Blazer Squadron, an alumni association of Honorary Commanders Committee of Figher Country Foundation. The BBS at times will be called upon to provide personal and professional resources and talents who are ready to serve at a moment's notice when the need arises. They've become a tremendous support for the Luke Air Force Base community. We also traveled to Phoenix, Arizona to visit the Manna House, an organization who helps homeless veterans rebuild their lives through shelter, basic resources, and community.
Manna House started out as a veterans-run organization that was a group of homeless vets who had some issues with where they were living in an overflow shelter, and they formed a thing called the Madison Streets Veterans Association. And then they started a Veterans Outreach Center, and about a year and a half later they were able to form Manna House. Our mission is to help homeless veterans get housed, make sure that they're in a situation where they're never homeless again. Our slogan is Veterans Helping Veterans. We find that veterans speak veteran, that because we've all had that psychic change from going through basic training, we talk and we have a little different language. And so a veteran talking to another veteran, sometimes they're able to understand what's going on and able to provide the help, especially when we're dealing with the VA and then getting them into a transitional housing like this. First thing, they're welcomed, they're assigned a bed, and they're given a tour of Manna House. They're shown where every place is, including the rec room and the cafeteria. The vet and the case manager together decide what their program is to get them into housing as quickly as possible. And so if they have health issues, we're going to get them connected with the VA or other health services. Once we get past that barrier, we look at other barriers that they might have, help them get through those barriers, and then maybe find a job, get, if they're older, get Social Security or some other help, and then move them towards housing. Part of the reason we call ourselves Manna House is that we want to create that community that veterans understand that they had while they were in the military. And so we identify as people who've had that shared experience, and then we work together to help each other. Our donation center is a tremendous connector for us for the outside community, because a lot of individuals who are vets and families of veterans want to donate clothes and things like that. They want it to come to the vets. We have a large room full of clothes and hygiene items and all of those that have been donated. The Manna House is a very special place because it's helped me personally as a vet get back and find my purpose in life again. It's given me a second chance at life, and it's also it's given me really to give to the community.
While in Arizona, we also visited Tucson to experience the Tucson Meet Yourself Festival and to learn more about the Cox Emergency Broadband Benefit program.
Post-pandemic, this is the first type of festival that we have open to the public like this in downtown Tucson. I think a lot of folks are excited to get out and just mingle and see everything that's going on. Like I said, bring the families out from, whether it's the children or grandparents that maybe haven't had much of an opportunity to mingle. It's a really good turnout. I mean, the event just started and we already have quite a bit of people out here. Cox is a longtime sponsor of Tucson Meet Yourself, and this year in particular, we are here to discuss the benefits of the Emergency Broadband Benefit program. This program is dedicated to helping all of the community members stay connected with internet service through a special discount that's offered by the government. The EBB program basically allows qualified customers to receive up to a $50 discount off of any level of internet service. So customers are free to choose, what level of speed is suitable for their families. If they subscribe to an internet program that costs more than the $50, then they would just pay the difference, but they would still receive the $50 off of their monthly bills. Those who reside in tribal communities would receive up to $75 off of their internet service. With this program, they would also receive a one-time $100 discount off of any type of equipment. So they can get a laptop, they can get a computer to set up at their house, and there's discounted pricings for different equipment. Cox also has this Connect to Compete program designed to help families of lower income provide internet service so long as they have children grades K through 12. And the program offers internet for $9.95 per month, waiving all installation fees, all deposits. And basically with the EBB program, it does help complement the Connect to Compete program because you can qualify for both. So whatever your monthly service rate is, regardless of the package that you subscribe to, the EBB credit would be applied towards that. One of the benefits of our Connect to Compete program and through EBB is you do get high-speed internet service. So these aren't slow speeds. With the EBB program, you can choose any level of internet speed that is suitable for your family depending on how many people are using the internet and what they're using it for. The EBB program is a national program. It's something that's being provided by the government itself. Through a stimulus that was available, and while that funding is available, we will continue to see this discount be available and promote that to our communities. We absolutely depend on each other. I mean, it is a small community, and it is imperative that we continue to work together to continue to close the gap on the digital divide.
What a great way of doing more. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Doing More. We're celebrating National Veterans and Military Families Month here at Fighter Country Foundation at Luke Air Force Base. Our final stop was at Shelter to Soldier, located in San Diego, an organization helping post 9/11 combat veterans through the love of rescue dogs. Take a look.
Shelter to Soldier is 9 years young with a mission to save lives 2 at a time. We're adopting dogs from local shelters, training them for post 9/11 combat veterans, and we're able to donate these trained dogs to deserving veterans in need. Service dogs can range anywhere from $15,000 to $35,000, $40,000. And for someone getting out of the military that's seeking support and help, having that sort of price tag is daunting. So we really wanted to be able to support the veterans to make sure that they're getting a dog that they need in their life at no charge. The other side of this, of course, is the dogs. Sadly, roughly 1,800 of them euthanized every day.
I was in a very dark place. I was having suicidal thoughts, and I really needed an immediate help. We don't know if tomorrow is going to be there for us. So I found Shelter to Soldier online, and I reached out, and somebody contacted me within 24 hours. And in the next couple of weeks, I was already in the program meeting dogs.
Most of the dogs that are in shelters for reasons like chewing on the couch or being too crazy with the kids are exactly the type of dog that we look for, because we can harness that energy into a really strong working service dog. From the time that we adopt a dog from a shelter or a rescue organization to the time that they graduate the program is about 12 to 18 months.
Dogs make such a huge difference for anyone in need, especially veterans, those working through post-traumatic stress, traumatic brain injury, hypervigilance, nightmares, night terrors. All of our dogs are trained for psychiatric service work. In addition to those, we also, once we get to know the approved veteran and what their needs are, we can fine-tune and add specific items. Our dogs do watch, where they'll go between the legs and face backwards, and literally cover that handler's six or watch their back. They touch, they create engagement, so it literally snaps that person out of a negative thought.
You know, he knows when my anxiety is starting to amp up, and he'll come over and just kind of put his head down on my lap and just let me know that he's here for me.
Shelter to Soldier is a nonprofit, and we're able to do the work that we do because of you, the community. Whether it's an individual donating $5 or whether it's a corporate donor like the Barnes firm that's supporting us and sponsoring multiple dogs that are going to make an impact in the veterans' lives in need.
There are still 20 to 22 veterans committing suicide a day, and the more that we can reach those veterans, the better chance we have to lowering that number. Him by my side 24/7 has completely turned my life around. It's not just saving both of our lives, it has made an impact on myself, Nigel, my family, my work. So yes, they definitely have saved our lives.
I want to thank Fighter Country Foundation and Luke Air Force Base for allowing us to share these amazing programs and services provided to Luke Air Force Base military men, women, and their families. Although we celebrate nationally our veterans, active military, and their families in the month of November, we should always remind ourselves daily to send positive thoughts and prayers to our military heroes. Heroes who have sacrificed their lives for our freedom, a form of freedom that is secured by our brave military men and women who sacrifice their lives daily. Let's remain committed to fostering a national community of support for these brave heroes and their families. So in observance of your bravery and sacrifice, I salute you. I'm Erica Cardenas. See you next time.